right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson, Lord willing, is edifying. And the title of this lesson is Welcome Back to Hell, but we have the truth. And this one is mainly for brothers that, got seed, got children in this captivity, especially after knowing the truth. But even so, regardless of the fact you brought children into this world, which really it was Yahweh Shai Shai. That's the first point that I want to make, is that, we're not in the spirit of wanting to build families here. We understand that we in captivity, especially here at Great Millstone. All right, we're not the most family-friendly camp, so to speak. Yeah, we love our wives, and we do take care of our families. Don't get it wrong, but we don't really teach that, like the other camps, such as IUIC. They're really big on, being the best husband and, on all this family structure stuff. But our main goal being here in Babylon the Great, America, and wherever Israel is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, we trying to get on the chariots, man. We trying to get delivered out of this place. We understand the severity of our situation and the curses that we under. We under the rulership of the so-called white man, who is the devil and Satan that the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom. And he has us under a very hard bondage. Elder Yashawamba always says this is a worst case scenario type of situation. And, we don't teach to have children and build a family. We teach you Israelite men, you so-called Black, Latino, Native American men, to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And if you have a family, of course, take care of your family, but always put this word first. This truth always comes first. All right, Yahweh Shai Shai always come first, because that's your salvation on the line. And not only your salvation, if you have children and a family, a wife, etc., immediate family, their salvation is also dependent on you. That speaks about that in Ephesians, the 5th chapter. Just as Yahweh Shai is the savior of the body, which is the church, which is the men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets, the men of Israel, elect men, the husband is the savior to his household, to his wife first and foremost, and his children. So brothers that do have children in this truth, it's somewhat of a burden. Children are a liability, because it's a life that you got to take care of, but it's a gift from the Lord. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with that. And this lesson, Lord willing, is to alleviate some of that pressure and, that burden off you brothers' shoulders, because there's a lot of scriptures that deal with household salvation and how children are a gift. And I'm going to get one in Psalm. I believe it's Psalm 127. Just bear with me 1 second. I just had it recently. Fruit of the womb. What? Yeah, Psalm 127 verse 3. It says, "Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward." So it's really the Lord that brings forth these children, including ourselves. We all somebody's children. Whether we was made by a so-called mistake, that's what we call it in Jake language. Us Israelites, we have a term where we'll say by mistake, which is not plain, and sometimes you didn't even want them, but the Lord wants them. All right, because you can't have heritage, which the word heritage goes back to the word inheritance. And obviously none of us was really born into any inheritance. We supposed to be, according to our tradition, our customs, our laws, statutes, and commandments as Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. Each tribe has an inheritance, and each man of that tribe is given a portion of that inheritance to give onto his children, mainly the sons, you know, the firstborn son. But in this captivity, we don't even have that. But see, when the Lord does give you children, whether it be male or female, it is a gift, man. It's a reward. And it is a beautiful thing. All right. Inwardly, all men should desire to have that. I'm going to get something else real quick. In the Apocrypha, we always bring this out. But we really get to the point, which is the last part of the verse. But you got to take everything as it is, right? In the scriptures, you can't cherry pick what you like and, you know, discard the rest. This is Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. See, the first thing is a man that have joy of his children. All right, which we can't even ultimately experience that in this place, because you have children, they want to vaccinate them, they want to do X, Y, and Z. And you know, again, we in captivity, so our children are literally being born into hell. And that's why the title of the lesson is Welcome Back to Hell, because when you understand the scriptures, reincarnation is biblical. All right, and all of these children that are being born, especially right now in these last days, they were here before already. All right, and they're coming back to be delivered, Lord willing. Talking about our children, you know, the hopeful elect men. All right, the children that are being born onto us, they were always our children, especially the sons. And Lord willing, we praying that they're being born here to get beamed up with us. All right, that's the hope and that's the expectation that we have of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. We doing the work. All right, we doing it diligently, and we praying like hell that the Lord deliver us and our families, because that's the promises that he gave us in the scriptures. All right, is, you know, again, a man to have joy of his children. What's the point of a man's life without children? And yeah, that's a sad thing. And, you know, for this truth, that's a worthy sacrifice. But if you are going to have children, you pray that the Lord deliver them. All right, you pray that the Lord put the Holy Spirit on them and they don't be reprobates, because that's another thing that can happen. I have a whole list of scriptures. When I had my first son, I went through a lot of Bible scriptures. I made a whole note dedicated to, you know, scriptures about children, raising up children. How do you raise them? You know, how do you discipline them, etc. And one that stuck with me the most is that it tells you in the scriptures, don't desire to be, matter of fact, I'm going to just read it real quick. I'm just going through these scriptures quick. Sirach 16:1, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Let me see if there's more there. It says, though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. So we praying that our children are elect members as well. You know, and that's why the Lord is bringing them back to this hell, because he's bringing them back under men who have the truth. All right, so that's a super heavy blessing, not only for us, because I read it in Psalm 127:3, but also for these sons and daughters that are being born onto us. All right, they being born onto parents who know the truth, who are not going to vaccinate them, who are not going to feed them McDonald's, you know, and give them juice and candy all day, but are actually going to tend to their diet, you know, be cautious of their health, protect them from the so-called white man who's trying to kill our seed lines. All right, and we know that that's another thing. Where is that at? Slovakia. I know it's in the Apocrypha too. This one might take me a second to find. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, Sirach chapter 30. And I'm going to start at 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. So that's how you're supposed to raise up your children, especially your sons. You're supposed to beat them. All right. And then we know in this society, you can only go but so far before Esau and CPS is coming for your children, for disciplining them when the scriptures tell you to do that. It tell you that he will not die. All right. Let me see. I think that's in Proverbs. Proverbs 23:13, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with a rod, he shall not die. So we not beating our children to kill them. We beating them because we love them. You know, we want them to be raised with a form of discipline and masculinity. Like I said, especially sons. We're not really talking about daughters right now. I mean, you could apply, you know, you do got to beat your daughters too, you know, to not make them whores and stuff. But I'm a man. I only got sons, man. I got 2 sons, so I wouldn't know. And, you know, that's something I diligently pray for and hope to the Lord for, is that if I had children, you know, when my rib told me she was pregnant, I prayed hard that I would have a son. And likewise, you know, the second time, both of them being, you know, mistakes. Like I said, that's a Jake term. You know, we use that in our so-called communities. I don't lump myself up with these niggas, but, you know, there is a truthful essence behind that, which is, you know, Esau be trying to plan to have children, but Jake don't be planning for it, just be happening. But that be the Lord, all right? That be how Bashim Washai that's bringing these children forth. And he made our seed very fertile, all right, per the blessing that was given to Abraham, that his seed, which is us, and our seeds would be as the stars of heaven, you know, the sands of the sea, innumerable, many in number. So going back to Sirach 30, verse 2, he that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. So we have to do these things, even though this man's society, you know, they teach you to basically, like, your children rule over you. You know, what does your children want? You know, what gender do they want to be, and all this bullshit? Well, we're not raising our children like that. We raising our children to the best of our ability with these ancient customs, all right, that come out of the Holy Bible, which is our heritage as Hebrew Israelites. You other nations, you don't have to do that. You're not supposed to do that. I mean, you should, all right? This is true wisdom, but you're not being held accountable for not doing that. We are, all right? Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah is holding the nation of Israel accountable for not following these laws, statutes, and commandments, and that's why our people are so fucked up. It's because we built differently. We're not supposed to be raised how the so-called white man is raised, you know, aka the school shooters and etc. We not, our heritage is different, all right? That's why our people are different. But when, you know, they doing the right thing, and even when they doing the wrong thing, they differ in a nasty, weird way, you know. But it said, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. So this is, you know, us having children here in these last days, it's the Lord bringing them first and foremost, and it's grieving the so-called white man, because we're not going to his medical systems. We're not, you know, trying to use his educational systems. All right, we coming back to our heritage, our nationality as Hebrew Israelites, and our knowledge that the Lord gave us. You see, we raising them up the righteous way, and that's going to grieve the so-called white man. He's going to basically want to curse you even more. But the Wadi Yahweh Shema Shai, I was sick as fuck in the week, you know, that my second son was just born last week, which is why, you know, my video production is not up to par, so to speak. I don't even like that for myself, but, you know, I say Salakia. But not only was I sick, you know, I was in the hospital back and forth because my woman was having complications. And, you know, it was the Passover week, so we trying to not do the leaven thing. It was just all type of hell, pretty much. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shim Yashah, we did it. All right. And even though she had to go into the hospital, we were supposed to do a home birth. Even though we had to go into the hospital, everything was smooth. But they wanted to keep her, you know, in the devil in Dracula's castle. You know, they was basically keeping my woman. And so I was back and forth with my first son. They wouldn't even allow him into the room. So I couldn't even, it wasn't like we can go over there and just, you know, spend time with the newborn or nothing. So, yeah, man, it was a real hard week. And I had some type of pneumonia in my lungs. I couldn't even really talk. I barely could even walk, man. But that's just all them curses and, you know, all these people that's wishing us harm, which, you know, fuck you people. I'm going to just say it blatantly like that. Fuck all you haters and all you people who wish harm on any of the brothers, any of the men of the Lord and their families. Fuck you, and may Yahweh Shim Al-Shah destroy you. All right, because you people are wicked, man. But the point of this lesson, like I said, you know, Lord willing, build you brother's spirit up. Let me get something else. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, and I believe it's verse 20, 22. No. Where is it? It's not 40 and 20. It's 40, but let me see. Or is it 20? Let me just word search it real quick. It's all good. This is Isaiah 40 and 11. It says, he shall feed his flock like a shepherd. We know that in the book of Ezekiel, I think it's 27, the Lord said, the flock of his pasture, ye my flock, the flock of my pasture are men. So the Lord is speaking really to the men of Israel. And underneath men, you have women and children. You got the families of Israel. So, you know, the Lord looks at the men of the nation of Israel as a flock of sheep. And him being the shepherd, he's leading us. All right, he's feeding us and he's leading us. So Isaiah 40 and 11, he shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arms. And that's dealing with Yahushua. His arm is Yahushua, not arms. It says arm, excuse me. And arm is significant of strength. And the strength of Yahweh is his son Yahushua. And that's how he's going to gather the elect. All right, Matthew 24, verse 30 and 31. Yahushua said he himself with the holy angels, they're going to go around the four corners of the earth, gathering the elect of the nation of Israel and beaming them up. All right, so check this out. It says, and carry them in his bosom. So that's going into the chariots, and just ultimately the bosom of a man represents protection and safety. You know, so when somebody has you under their wing, so to speak, they protecting you, they guiding you, then they protecting you. So the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be protected, men, women, and children. But it starts with the men, and it starts with the families of the men of the Lord. All right, this is the point. And shall gently lead those that are with young. So brothers that are just having children now, you know, you may be feeling the pressure like, damn, you know, this is the worst time to really have children. And it is. You know, I'm not, like I said, we're not teaching you how to be a family man Israelite, even though you do have to. If you have a family, you better fucking be taking care of your family, because the scriptures speak about that. You will be worse than an infidel if you don't take care of your family, especially if they not giving you hell and, you know, they not demons and your family is all right. You know, you're supposed to be taking care of them as a man. That is a principle of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You put this truth first, and then you got to take care of your family. So it's not that we teach you to be deadbeats and, you know, fuck your family, hate your family. We don't teach you that. But if your woman, let's say, is a demon, obviously you're going to, you know, she going to get the last end of your time and attention and your energy. You know what I'm saying? She don't cook you food. She don't serve you. You know, pretty much fuck that woman, man. You know what I'm saying? You might love her, but you got to love this truth more. Even if your family is right, even if your woman is right, you still love Yahweh Shem Yahushai more. You see? And the Lord is going to gently lead us, those brothers that have young children. You know what I'm saying? I say us because I'm one of them. Like I said, I have a newborn. And that's, you know, the inspiration of the title really comes from that. When he was born in the hospital, I happened to be there. I had the blessing and the opportunity to be there. And even though that shit is nasty, but minus all of that, you know, I seen him just fresh out the womb, and the first words that I told him, even though he could hear me in the womb, and I, you know, was speaking to him throughout his development, right? But I told him, I said, welcome back to hell, but we have the truth, son, and we have the names, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. His eyes opened up, man. I can't make this up. All right, his eyes opened up so wide, and he looked right at me. I was the first face that he seen, not even his mother, even though they put him on his mother. All right, but when his head was facing me and I'm sitting on the side, you know, he opened up his eyes real big, when I said those names. So I know that that's the names. I've been knew that already. But, you know, these confirmation, these spiritual nuggets that the Lord be dropping, and he'll let you know how spiritual this thing is, man. So, yeah, the scriptures, man, the Lord said he's going to gently lead those that are with young. And where is that in the book of Acts? Let me get it. Acts. And we know, that's another good example in the book of Judges, all right? I mean, in the book of Joshua, when he said, choose you this day, whom you're going to serve. If I'm not mistaken, that's in the book of Joshua. And drew the line in the sand. And, certain men chose to serve the Lord with them in their houses. So, again, household salvation is something in the scriptures. And let me just get it. There's one in the book of Acts that I want specifically. Yeah, Acts chapter 16. And I'm going to just get straight to the point. Verse 30. It says, and brought them out and said, sirs, what must I do to be saved? This one particular man, he heard the ministry, the preaching of the gospel of Yahushua by the apostle Paul. And, he wanted to know, what did he have to do to be saved? And they said, believe on the Lord Yahushua, and thou shalt be saved and thy house. See that? And they spake unto him the word of the Lord, and to all that were in his house. So guess what? That man, he died 2,000 years ago. As we read Acts, all that whole generation of people died. All right, there ain't nobody on this earth 2,000 years old that was still there back when the Lord was there and the apostles, and they still here waiting for salvation. But through reincarnation, that man is here today. All right, he's a believer again, and he has a household again. He has children and a wife or wives possibly, and him and his family is going to be delivered in this time, because that's what it meant. All right, nobody was saved 2,000 years ago. All of them people died, but their salvation was sealed for these last days to come back now, and for them and their household to be beamed up in the chariots, man. And see, that's what's going to happen in these last days. You could apply Jeremiah 16. All right, you can squeeze some wisdom out of that and apply that and say, this is not a wise time to have children. It's true. All right, this is a discussion captivity, and, your children will be preyed upon in this world, and you have to watch over them, and that takes a burden. There's nothing, that's the truth, man. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but that scripture doesn't apply to right now, because the elect Israelite men, women, and children are going to be saved in these last days. All right, so the elect men's children is not going to die grievous deaths. All right, the elect men's children are going to be saved according to the scripture. If you're an elect Israelite man and you have a household and you believe, all right, even if your woman don't believe, she could still be saved. All right, based on you. And Apostle Paul broke that down in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, 1 Corinthians 11. One of those two chapters, he explained it. All right, he broke down household salvation. Even if you have a woman that's an unbeliever, she could still be saved by the sanctification of the believing husband. You see, so, that's really the point of the lesson. It's not a wise thing to have children. Luke, what is that, 21? It's prophesied about 70 AD. The Lord said, woe unto them that give suck in those days, for evil shall be upon the land. That's talking about 70 AD. That's not even talking about right now. Yeah, there is going to be evil upon these lands. Yeah, this is going to be worse than 70 AD, Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved. All right, during 70 AD, the ones that were saved were the ones that took heed to Yahushua, and they fled. All right, them and their families fled. And the ones that stood in Jerusalem, they the ones that got destroyed, because that was the 2/3, man. The ones that said, woe unto them, that was the 2/3. That was never talking about the elect. All right. So yeah, these scriptures, you can, like I said, squeeze some wisdom out of it and apply it to now, but it doesn't really apply to now, because now is a time of salvation. Now is a time of the elect men, women, and children getting beamed up and being delivered from the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, the ones that are found written in the book, Daniel 12:1. Michael, the archangel, Michael Allah, standing up to defend the children of his people. All right, the prince angel, the one that's like unto the Most High, a man of war, an angel of war. He's going to actually protect the elect of the nation of Israel in these times. We can't say that about Jeremiah 16 with the captivity of Babylon, or Luke 21, the captivity of the Romans in 70 AD, the abomination that maketh desolate. That wasn't the time for that. All right, so yeah, you have scriptures that are for those particular times in history, and that was the wisdom at that time. Don't have children, you know, don't multiply wives. You see what I mean? But now, not saying go and do it, but the Most High promised the elect salvation in the last days. And he said he's going to gently lead those that are with young. Isaiah 40:11, once again. So Lord willing, this lesson is comforting to you brother spirits. You know, we don't need to be discouraged in these last days. When we came out of Egypt, we came out as families, man. All right, and the Lord was dealing with families. You see? The Lord was dealing with men and their seed lines and their children. And it's no different today. All right, because this is the time of salvation of the elect of Israel. This is the time of Yahweh Shai coming back to deliver us. You know, so Kwam Yasharala. And you know what I'm saying? If you got children, just keep the faith. And the brother Palau, years ago when I had my first son, he shared a very valuable lesson with me. I wish, you know, I can find it through the spirit. Maybe I'm gonna have to contact the brother again and ask. But I remember the title, and I remember the point of the lesson. The title of the lesson was, if you love your children, do the work. All right, so that's really the most important thing. You love your family, you love your children, you have children. It's a hard thing, it's not easy. But guess what? Do the work, and the Lord is gonna bless us. He's gonna reward us with salvation. All right, Lord willing, we be the elect. We gotta endure to the end, brothers. All right, not only for you, but for your children, for your family. So with that, call Haloyim, La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and Lord willing, I'll see you in the next lesson. Shalom.